Alright guys, welcome to a new kind of series I'm going to be doing. I'm hoping to post one of these videos a week, and it's basically going to be on tackle tips. Stuff for you guys to do in your off season, like right now when it's winter and we've got no places to musky fish unless you're lucky and live down south right now. But as you guys can see, I have a giant wall of my lures. Guys are really freaking out about this on Instagram. I posted it, some videos of me putting it up, and guys went nuts over it, so I figured I should make a YouTube video on it. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's Wegner_fishing. But we're going to kind of go around the wall, show you some baits, show you what I use for storage in my boat, and then, you know, as this series kind of goes on, or I'll be posting more videos, like I said, of little things you can do to make your baits better throughout the off season and get ready for fishing again this coming spring. So, as you guys can see, I've got one wall here, and then I've got another wall over there. We'll get to that one. But basically all I used was 2x4s and 1x2s. I think I got $50 spent here in wood, and probably, I think it took me 2 days total to get it done. I had to go to the Menards like 3 times because I kept running out of wood because I didn't think I had this many baits, but there's 747 baits here on this wall right now. And I know I've got a box in the buddy's boat that I left on our last fall trip. So regardless, I have too many baits, but being a full-time fishing guide, these catch my clients' fish. So I call it necessary evil. I can justify having this many lures. But anyway, like I said, so I've got all these baits, right? Obviously these all don't fit in my boat. You guys can see here this other wall is mainly just crankbaits, topwaters, and then more bucktails. But all this stuff, right, like all this stuff doesn't fit in my boat. So there's a few things you can do with tackle storage that I think can be really productive, because it's very important to have your boat neat and organized and have your stuff put away, protected. These baits are expensive, so we're going to kind of go through what I use as far as tackle storage. So for my own personal boat, I have a just-in-case box built, and I think that's the best way to possibly store them. Bob does a great job building this stuff. Here I've got my deck box, okay? So this box literally goes in my boat. It fits in flat with my rear deck, so it's a deck extension as well as a tackle box. Okay, so when I open this up, you've got all these different dividers. These actually come out. So in the off season, you can pull these out. Your baits are in here, hang up on the wall. And then for me, what I'm going to do, this is going to stay in my boat year round, regardless if I'm fishing walleyes, smallmouth, or muskies. If I'm not fishing muskies, I'm just going to pull this stuff out. I can put Plano boxes in here. I can put customers' rain gear in here. It's storage, right? And it's behind my seats in my boat. So it's really wasted space. So this is just adding storage to my boat. But Bob's system here for musky baits is awesome. This is the second deck box I had him make for me, and he can build them to any boat. I had this one built for my Lund, I had one built for my Triton, and then my one for my Triton actually fit in my Ranger too. So this deck box is incredible. You guys can stand on it. Literally, Bob has drove a truck on top of his. They're incredibly strong. He builds them super well. Everything's stainless steel, it's lockable, but like I said, you've got 2 different options here. I left the other side empty, so I can put, like in the fall, trolling, I put most of my trolling baits in these little planos, okay? But then, I throw them in here, okay? I can fit 4 of these on each side, so I can fit 8 of those, which for me on Green Bay, using smaller baits, I can fit a lot of baits in this box. So that's kind of my go-to storage is the just-in-case stuff. Bob makes boxes that you can just carry around. They're not specifically built for a boat. He makes stuff for fly fishermen. He makes stuff for walleye guys. He makes all kinds of solutions for that. I'll leave a link in the description below to Bob's website because he makes some incredible stuff. Planos are a nice option if you want to take boxes in and out of your boat. They're not really great for bigger baits like rubber and stuff like that, but as far as like crankbaits, some bucktails, they work really well. These are alright, they work, keep things safe. The thing I noticed is last year I left some baits in here and they ended up getting rusted. So that's kind of why I hung up my baits. The $50 in lumber, 3 baits, and I got my money back. Last and not least, you have your standard Lakewood. Like I said, this is basically, you can get, like Bob makes any size of these. These have been around for a while, I guess guys used them for a long time. They're not super durable. They're not bad, but they're not, I think for about the same price you can get Bob to make you one. They're clear then, like this. They've got a little bit nicer sides. These work, they're super portable. You can toss them in your buddy's boat, jump from boat to boat. But like I said, if you guys want the best protection for your lures and your investment as possible, pick up one from Bob or order one from his website online. He's at all the shows. He's a great guy to go hang out with and talk to. So if you guys are looking to, simplify things in your boat, or you want to, make things run smoother, being organized is very, very key. Having your bucktails separated from your rubbers so they don't get stuck together. I always hate when that happens. Being organized is super nice. It helps me be more efficient on the water with customers. But that is kind of my tip for you guys today. We are actually going to go around the room and I'm going to kind of talk about a few baits that pop out to me that I've got stories with, share some stories with you guys. Alright, so let's go through a few baits that kind of just pop out at me on the wall. I guess first one we'll start down here on the bottom. This isn't the exact lure though. My exact one is actually hanging, I think, at my mom's house. But this Medusa here caught me my biggest fish under a million on the open water bite, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. This bait kind of pops out for me. This is always a confidence color for me. I don't know, just a cool bait. It's got some good stories. I wish I had the one that I actually caught all the fish on, because it's just mangled. The one tail doesn't really even flop around anymore. It's just kind of donezo. I haven't caught anything on these yet, but I did buy these 2-pounders this year. I did cast them, I did fish with them. I've seen fish caught on them casting this year. I've got a couple videos coming out where Kurt catches a couple fish on these. 2-pound bucktail, okay? Or a 2-pound bulldog. So you've got your standard pounder, right? And then you've got a 2-pounder. A little bit of a difference, but they are pretty heavy. It takes a very special rod. We throw them on a 10-foot double extra heavy thorn predator, but these baits are pretty cool. This bulldog here, standard black and orange. I had a customer catch a really big 52-incher on. He actually lost it halfway back to the boat, lost the fish halfway back to the boat, and then the fish got it again boat side. So pretty crazy story, a really big fish. I'll show you guys a picture of it. But standard black and orange bulldog, this color will work forever. Bulldogs will work forever. And the new shallow swim dog that came out last year, these are pretty cool. This is just a special bait to me. Brad had sent me this one to kind of prototype and test. Caught some fish on it with Nick Linder and my buddy Jace. But I got this one, and then I got this gold one, which this gold one looks really nice. It's not even a standard stock color. Brad probably doesn't want me talking about it, but he just made 2 basic colors for us to try. It was pretty cool for the owner of Musky Innovations to send me a bait to try. And it worked. Caught fish on it. Lots of stuff. Tubes, orbas, beavers. I don't know, I've caught fish on beavers. This is the only beaver that I've caught fish on, but it's really good for me on Lake of the Woods on tough days. I've tried them on Green Bay. I haven't done well on them yet. Suics. Suics are so good on the woods. This was probably my best one last year. It's all beat up. I love when the noses get all roughed up from banging into the rocks. You got to put a split ring on these right away, because you will not, if you bang too many rocks, you won't even be able to get your snap out of the eyelet, so you got to put a split ring on them right away. But Suics are classic. Like I said, they're another bait like a bulldog that have worked forever, and they will continue to work forever. Going down the line, we've got 12s, 13s, 10s. Man, I don't know. 10s. As far as 10s, the one 10s bait that kind of pops out in my mind is this one. I've talked about this bait in prior videos, but this bait here caught me my first 55-incher on Green Bay casting. Made it out of scratch, pulled some Booker 10s and got some skirts from Leaders and Lures, threw some blades together. I actually made it for Canada. And then I ended up getting a call and went up to Green Bay fishing like 3 nights before I had to go to Canada and caught my biggest fish ever. So this bucktail is a very special place in my heart. Alright, so if we keep going down here, these are Musky Mayhem came out with a new bait last year called the DS4. I didn't actually get any, but I made some. This is a homemade DS4. These are Spanky 8s. These are actually Musky, what are these even? Oh, these are MEPS. These are MEPS double 7s. So these are 40 thousandths blades, being the Spanky blades. And then these are like even thinner than 2500s. So cool bait, different jointed. This one you can see doesn't have much tinsel left on it. It was a good one. I built 2 of them. I built that one and this one. They both caught fish for me last year. But it's funny, building them was, like I say, with Spanky blades. Speaking of Spankies, God, I've caught a lot of fish on Spankies over the last few years. They're obviously really good on the bay. They work up in Canada. Where's my double 8? This double 8 was really good for me. You guys will see this bait in a bunch of videos. Black and copper, but nice bait. Caught a lot of fish in the woods for me. I caught a 51 incher on this one in Green Bay this spring. We caught a really old male on that one up in Lake of the Woods. Here we go. This is a pretty special bait to me. This was a standard junior. This caught my first inland Wisconsin 50 incher down in southern Wisconsin. For you guys that don't know, I don't know, I mean, for Wisconsin, the really only place we have where you can consistently catch 50 inches is Green Bay, where I guide. But an inland 50 is kind of something that Wisconsin guys talk about because it's pretty special. Being Wisconsin strain, a lot of our fish don't ever reach 50 inches. So an inland 50 is kind of a big deal. So my first inland 50, or my only inland 50 actually, was on this ugly junior. I don't know why I picked it, but it worked. Green blade, black nickel with like a bluish skirt. Just burning it over top of a weed bed. Caught it by myself. You guys have heard me talk about the Thorn Heavy Juniors forever. Me and Forrest really like these on Lake of the Woods. Both these colors are really good, the black and green, and then this is a Thorn custom color, Black Lightning. We call it Rip Your Float, but both really good colors for the woods, and the juniors are obviously special to me. Caught a lot of fish on them over the years. Coming over to this wall, mainly I guess crankbaits. Obviously Rapala Super Shads are the whole bottom row. Those I use for trolling on Green Bay. Caught more 50 inchers on those than I think just about anything. It's just kind of a special little bait that we use on the bay that catch a ton of fish for us. This one's in pretty good shape. It's not all beat up, but you can see one like this that's got a bunch of teeth marks in it. I've got some other ones that are just completely destroyed. Here's two Fire Tiger ones. I said the through wires just pulled right out of the balsa, and then this one just got destroyed as well. But cool baits, cool stories. They just kind of keep these for mementos. The Blue Grandmas, you guys have seen us throw these forever. These ones are obviously both pretty beat up. I think this is the one that Craig had. I had a friend of mine, Craig, come fish with me. He caught 10 fish in 3 days on this one bait with me up on the woods. And nice, we catch fish on them every year. I don't know, I don't really have many gliders. I'm not a big fan of gliders. Bondies, I've yet to catch musky jigging. That really irritates me. But probably the coolest topwater I have up here is this Worth Creeper. This bait here caught me a really cool fish on Jesse's Lake Pipestone. You guys will see a video of that coming out at some point this winter. But creepers are really cool. It was kind of a goal of mine to catch a fish on this. I had Matt make me 2 of them. And they're pretty hard to get, so it's pretty special that Matt built me 2 of them. But jointed, like a baby duck pattern. And then this is actually like a black chrome with an orange tail. But you guys can see this one's kind of beat up from a big fish that I caught on it. Topwaters are cool. I don't have a lot of them. Obviously I've got my standby Fat Bastards. I had Matt Worth actually make me a globe. It's a really cool bait. I haven't got a bit on this one yet. It's probably only got 2-3 hours of fishing time on it. But then we kind of get into my favorite line of bucktails. The staggers, the Musky Frenzy baits. The Apaches are really good, and then obviously you guys hear me talk about the staggers all the time. This one in particular, you guys will see a lot of. The blade is missing because I think this one had 32 fish on it before we lost the blade. There's not much tinsel left. It's probably had 6 or 8 different rear hooks on it. But this is a pretty special bait to me. This last year guiding on the woods, it was incredible for me. Caught a lot of fish on them. I'll leave a link in the description below where you guys can buy this bait and other Frenzy colors or stagger colors. Nick's coming out with 2 new models this year. I probably can't say what they are right now, but just be watching. They catch fish, they work, and we're also playing with another little bait that I designed. So exciting stuff coming from Frenzy. But other than that, guys, that's about it. Hopefully you guys learned some stuff about tackle storage. And like I said, we're going to go through more and more of this stuff kind of down in my basement this winter, talking to you guys about how you can modify your baits to catch more muskies on them. So thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.